Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a really big shift happening in the world of software, how AI is completely transforming testing. We're talking about moving it from that final, frustrating bottleneck to the very backbone of the development process. So let's just start with a number, shall we? A really big number, $62 billion. According to industry reports, that is the estimated cost every single year of software bugs that are found too late in the game. That's just a colossal drain on money, time, and innovation. I mean, $62 billion? That is a massive, incredibly expensive problem. So it really begs the question, right? There has to be a better way. And the answer is yes, absolutely. But it means we have to fundamentally change how we even think about software quality.
Okay, so to really get why the new way is so revolutionary, we first have to talk about the old way, the thing many of us know all too well, the traditional testing bottleneck.
You know the drill, right? In the traditional world, testing can feel like you're just stuck on a hamster wheel. It takes forever, your test scripts are so brittle, they break if a developer just looks at the UI funny, and worst of all, it's not very smart. It can't focus on what really matters. In today's world of Agile and DevOps, where speed is everything, this old model just can't keep up. And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look at that last row, error identification. The old way is reactive. You find problems after the damage is done. The AI approach, it's predictive. It uses data and patterns to figure out where the problems are going to be. That right there is the whole game, moving from brute force to actual intelligence. So how do we make that jump? How do we go from just reacting to fires to actually predicting where they'll start? Well, this is where AI walks onto the stage. And it's not just here to speed things up, it's here to make the whole process smarter. So what are we really talking about here? It's pretty simple, actually. It's about switching from a test everything, just-in-case mentality to an intelligent, risk-based approach. The AI looks at the code that actually changed, analyzes past problems, and says, okay, based on this, this is the area that's most likely to break. Let's test that first. And check this out. This is where it starts to feel a little bit like magic. Instead of a QA engineer having to write lines and lines of complicated code, they can just describe what a user does in plain English. The AI acts like a translator and just, poof, generates the test script automatically. It makes testing so much more accessible. Now, this is where it gets really powerful. We're talking about self-healing tests. Think about it. When a developer changes a button on the screen, what happens? All the old tests break. It's a huge waste of time. AI-driven tests can actually see that change and adapt automatically. That alone tackles one of the biggest time sinks in the entire QA world. But, this is about so much more than just a cool new tool that fixes old problems. We are literally witnessing a complete reimagining of what quality even means in the first place. And this new approach, it's pushing quality in two directions at once. You have shift left, which is all about testing earlier and earlier in the process, finding bugs when they're cheap and easy to fix. And then you have shift right, which means testing continues even after the app is live, using real data from real users. So when you put it all together, here's the big takeaway. Quality isn't a gate at the end of the road anymore. It's not some final exam you have to pass. It's more like a heartbeat, constantly pumping through every single stage of the software lifecycle. Okay, that all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But how does an AI actually see a user interface? How does it know what to click? Let's pop the hood for a second and see how it works. So, one of the first ideas was pretty straightforward, almost like a game of Battleship. You just lay a grid over the screen and the AI would call out a coordinate, like click cell B4. It kind of worked, but as you can imagine, it was pretty clumsy and not very precise. So the technology got way, way smarter. Enter bounding boxes. Now, instead of a dumb grid, the AI actually scans the screen and identifies every single thing you can interact with. A button, a form field, a link. It draws a perfect little box around each one and gives it a unique ID. It's a huge leap forward, giving it pinpoint accuracy. So, the big question that's probably on your mind right now is, with all this incredible automation, are human testers going to be out of a job? And the answer we're seeing is a huge, resounding no. The future isn't about replacement, it's about collaboration. And don't make the mistake of thinking this is some far-off sci-fi future. It is happening right now. A recent report showed that a whopping 70% of QA teams are already bringing AI into their workflows. This isn't a trend, it's the new reality.
So it's not about replacement, it's about evolution. The role itself is changing. AI is taking over all the boring, repetitive, heavy lifting, which frees up the human experts to think bigger, to focus on strategy, on complex problems, and on the big picture.
Because, let's be honest, AI is amazing, but there's some things it just can't do. It can't replicate human intuition. It can't do creative, out-of-the-box problem solving. It can't understand user empathy. Those are the things that separate a functional product from a truly great one.
And that leaves us with this final, really powerful thought. The AI is getting incredibly good at answering the simple binary question, does it work? And by taking that off our plate, it frees us up, the humans, to ask a much deeper, more important question, is it right? And that makes our role more strategic and more valuable than ever. Thanks for watching.